Aryan was on his way home after a night shift at his new job. It was late at night and he was riding his bike on an empty road. As he passed through the desolate highway, the eeriness of the place caught his attention. The traffic was thin and Aryan felt like he could go as fast as he wanted. However, as he continued, he noticed a couple riding a bike ahead of him. The woman was sitting behind wearing a sari and her palu was dangerously close to getting caught in the rear wheel of the bike. Aryan decided to overtake the couple and warn the rider about the woman's sari, but as he moved ahead, he noticed that the woman was no longer sitting behind. Surprised, Aryan pulled over and asked the rider where his wife had gone. The rider stared at him in confusion, claiming there was no woman with him. Aryan's heart began to race as he realized something strange was going on. As he turned around, he saw a shadowy figure moving in the darkness. He was not alone. Aryan's mind raced as he thought about what he had just witnessed. He quickly got back on his bike and rode home, but the feeling of being followed stayed with him. That night he could not sleep. His mind was filled with questions. What had he seen? Was it real? And why had the couple acted so strange? The next morning, Aryan visited an old priest who had lived in the area for many years. He shared his experience with the priest, who listened carefully. After hearing Aryan's story, the priest told him about the curse that had haunted the land for decades. The area used to be home to a small village that was destroyed in a fire in the 1960s. The souls of those who died in agony during the fire were never given peace, and their spirits remained trapped on the land. The priest warned Aryan that he had encountered the beginning of a much larger mystery. The priest gave Aryan a black thread with a silver charm for protection. As Aryan left the temple, he could not shake the feeling that something was following him. That night he had another dream. This time he saw a small broken-down school in the woods. Inside, a young girl sat holding a teddy bear. Aryan woke up in a cold sweat, realizing that the girl in the dream was trying to tell him something. The next day, Aryan went to the local government offices to find a map of the area. He discovered the location of the old school from his dream. That evening, Aryan ventured into the woods and found the abandoned school building. As he entered, he felt a chill in the air. The building was covered in vines and the windows were cracked. He stepped inside, drawn toward the corner of the room where he found a teddy bear sitting on an old chair. The moment he touched the bear, he heard a whisper. "I waited for Papa, but he never came." Aryan looked around, but there was no one in sight. The bear suddenly fell from the chair, and Aryan realized that the spirit of the girl was still trapped there. He searched the room and found a carving on the wall that read, "Krol no dibasananya." Missing, Aryan understood that the girl's soul was still bound to the school. He promised to help her find peace, and just as he spoke, her spirit appeared before him briefly, before vanishing into the mist. The next day, Aryan returned to the priest to learn more. The priest told him about Rukmini, a healer and midwife who lived in the village before it was destroyed. When a child from a wealthy family died during birth, the villagers blamed Rukmini. They tied her to a tree, beat her, and set her house on fire with her inside as she died. Rukmini cursed the land and swore that the souls of those who died in pain would never find peace. Aryan realized that Rukmini's spirit was the key to breaking the curse. That night, Aryan ventured into the forest where the old banyan trees stood. He called out for Rukmini, hoping she would hear him. As the wind howled, he heard a whisper behind him. "Help, will you burn like I did, Aryan?" He turned to find her, Rukmini's spirit floating in the air, her eyes glowing with fury. Aryan knew that in order to break the curse, he needed to help her find peace. Aryan stood his ground and spoke gently to Rukmini, telling her that he understood her pain and was here to help. As he spoke, her form flickered and the ground beneath him cracked. Aryan saw visions of other tragic deaths linked to the curse. The spirits of the 6 remaining souls cried out for release. Rukmini screamed in agony as her form shifted between that of a woman and a vengeful spirit. Aryan promised to end the curse and free the souls. Slowly, Rukmini's face softened, and Aryan knew he was getting through to her. He whispered, "I will give you peace if you let them go." As he spoke those words, Rukmini's spirit faded into the wind. Aryan felt a release in the air, and the curse was broken. The spirits of the 7 souls were finally free. The land once haunted by sorrow was now at peace. Aryan returned home, but he would never forget his journey through the haunted road and his encounter with the restless spirits. The curse was lifted, and the darkness that had once plagued Moksha Marg was gone. Aryan's life returned to normal, but the memory of the souls he helped set free would stay with him forever.